Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Chris sent me a story about a fake cop. I did a story not too long ago about a guy pretending to be a cop and how he got in trouble for it. And this is one of those things, it's like fake lawyers, fake cops. Apparently it's a thing. And someone sent me a note and said, hey, Steve, here's one in your backyard. That would be Michigan. And this is from MLive, article written by Nathan Clark, where I'm getting a lot of this from. Cop impersonator who sparked outrage in Ann Arbor, arrested by federal agents. A Washtenaw County man with a history of impersonating police officers is now facing federal charges. Michael Joseph Snyder of Northfield Township was charged in federal court after being arrested involving an incident that happened in October where he was accused of pulling over a motorist on I-96 in Livingston County despite the fact that he's not a police officer. Turns out there's a problem with that. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, or the ATF, did an investigation here, and that led to the arrest. He's been accused of falsely presenting himself as an officer or employee of the United States government. It's according to a criminal complaint filed in the U.S. District Court in conjunction with his case. Now, this arrest and the federal charges arise from the traffic stop on I-96, but he's been questioned before about impersonating a police officer. One of those times was back in 2018 when there was a fight outside or that spilled out of a nightclub in Ann Arbor on First Street. And this man called the police and told them that he was a police officer who needed backup. And so when the police showed up, they got involved, and somewhere along the line they realized, wait, this guy's not a cop. And he called saying he was a cop. And at that time, he told them that he had simply said that to get a faster response. Do not do that, okay? I actually read a story once written by a guy who was a police officer. He goes, if you want the cops to show up fast, tell them that an officer's been shot at the scene. Because nothing will get cops to show up faster than the allegation that there's a police officer who's been shot there. The problem is when they show up and find out no one's been shot, they get really, really upset. So don't do that. But the story about what happened on I-96 in Livingston County, a woman said that she was pulled over by somebody who wasn't a police officer. It was a pickup truck with Texas plates on it in Michigan, but with red and blue flashing lights. Came up behind her, so she pulled over because she saw the flashing lights, and a guy walks up, and she realizes it doesn't look like a cop. Besides, the truck's got Texas plates on it. And so she says that the driver of the pickup walked up to her wearing dark green tactical pants. And he told her she was driving like a effing asterisks, police said. Asterisks is my interpretation of ASS, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 asterisks following it. But he swore at her, basically. And then she said, what right do you have to pull me over, in essence? Because you have Texas plates. And she says that the guy told her he was a federal agent. But then she drove away after he got back in his truck and drove off. So then she called the real police, who'd have thought, and gave them a description of the vehicle. And it was a 2015 Ford F-250 with Texas plates on it, which was later found at Snyder's home. It's don't get me wrong, there's a lot of Ford F-250s in Michigan, but with Texas plates on them, not as many. So he admitted, according to the police, to having lights installed in his truck, but he said they were only red and white and not police lights. And many people don't know this, but red and white is emergency. Red and blue is law enforcement, usually, at least it is in Michigan. He said he pulled up next to the woman's vehicle on I-96, but that he only flipped her off and told her to slow down, which again, if he's not a cop, that's not his job. When asked by the police if he would demonstrate the lights for them, he refused. So they went and got a search warrant. And they came back, and they checked the lights, and it turns out they were actually red and blue. So then they also searched his home after that, and again with a search warrant. And they found an assortment of police tactical gear, apparently including things like tactical pants, gear, and weapons. During an interview at the Livingston County Sheriff's Office, He told investigators he owned an online retail company that sells police tactical gear, including things like tactical pants, and he only used the lights at trade shows. And I know some people right now are going, Steve, why do you keep making fun of tactical pants? I get ads in my spam. And yes, I have just a steady flow of spam into my life for things like tactical backpacks, tactical flashlights, tactical pants. I'm pretty sure I've seen tactical underwear. I'm pretty sure I have. I'm waiting for Mind the Gap tactical panties. Not that I'd wear them. I'm just hoping someone's marketing them right now, because it's one thing if Mind the Gap underwear, but it needs to be tactical, okay? I don't care what you say. Tactical pants doesn't make any sense at all. He indicated that he might own a vest that would indicate he was a federal agent, but he said it was at his warehouse, and then when asked where the warehouse was, he wouldn't tell them that. So, other things that were shown up in the report is he was asked about other instances where his lights may have come on his truck, the red and blue lights, and he said that he did have, in fact, a problem with the Livonia police, a town not far from Washtenaw County, when his wife accidentally activated the lights in his truck, but that didn't involve any actual like arrests or anything. But she had accidentally activated the lights, the red and blue police lights. Additionally, back in 2014, he was allegedly involved in an assault in El Paso, actually in Texas, where a man reported being pulled over by Snyder and was ordered out of his vehicle at gunpoint. Again, no evidence that he was a police officer at that point. There, the victim questioned his law enforcement credentials, and Snyder jumped in his truck and drove away. So if you're going to pull people and pretend to be a cop, go, commit, okay? So when somebody goes, you're not really a cop, for you to jump in your truck and drive off, I mean, come on. I'm joking. Don't ever pretend to be a police officer. So the man is currently in federal custody awaiting a preliminary examination, which is scheduled for December 23rd in U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Michigan. That would be in Detroit. And for this, he could be facing up to 3 years in prison. And 3 years in a federal case is some serious stuff. The feds take their prison time much more seriously than most states do. But it turns out it is against the law to pretend to be a police officer. It's also against the law to pretend to be a federal agent. So you shouldn't do that. And for some odd reason, there's guys out there who want to pretend to be cops, which makes me wonder. Because don't get me wrong, I love the police. I have people say, Steve, you must not like the police. You're always picking on the cops. I'm not. My entire video, how to behave during a traffic stop. I get fan mail from around the world from police officers say, Steve, thank you for putting that up because it makes my job easier. I say, you're welcome. That's my whole point is that, we can all get along, right? But we've also heard of incompetent cops out there. And so it makes you wonder, some guy like this, if he wants to be a cop so bad, become one. Okay? At least try. Go apply. Go to the police academy, something. Go take classes at the community college on law enforcement science and try to become a cop. But putting the blue lights and red lights on your truck and pulling over strangers in traffic for perceived things that you think they did wrong, that's not going to make you a cop. It's going to make you actually the opposite. It's going to turn you into a criminal. It's unusual. You want to fight crime by breaking the law? Seems ironic in a really, really strange way. So there you go, my friends. Chris sent me the story. Thank you very much. I love the stories about the fake cops, the fake lawyers, fake doctors, what have you. I don't know why I'm fascinated by that. So pass them along. But again, this story is out of M Live. Nathan Clark wrote the story. Thank you very much, guys. Questions or comments, put them below. Otherwise, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. Do androids dream of electric sheep?